studies has two major metaphysical meanings. The first one is philosophy, is a study at an abstract level or at the most general level of matter or phenomenon or nature. For example, like avoidance of seeds, causes, and consequence. And the second is religion, is phenomena outside the real world. For example, life after death, heaven, or hell. Supernatural cannot be proved by senseless and empirical sense. A field of philosophy that examines the nature of existence and reality and the nature of existence has many fields, and it is divided into the following section. The first one is ontology, or a study of existence. The second one is cosmology, or about the physical universe, or cosmos as a whole, causes, or cosmogony, and cosmogony of origin of the universe, and also subject, predicate, and taxonomy, duty or necessity, and contingency, mind and matter, and free will and will or determinism. Next. The metaphysical theory. Metaphysics is often associated with questions such as, what is truth? Do you have a mind in your body? There are several theories. The first one is materialism, which means that uphold the truth of the existence of things and feelings, and physical phenomena produced by the activity of things. Second one is idealism, is stating that all material things are ideas or forms of ideas of mental phenomena are pure and true. The third is theology or religious metaphysics. It relates the nature of the semester and its existence to it and applies it to some purposes. And the last one is mechanistic theory. It states that all events resulting from mechanical power are not the result of effort. Next. And the theory of materialism is anything that is visible or existence. For example, mountain, rice balls, etc. Considering that existence of the body and reality is real. Ideas do not have their own reality and depend on something that is corporeal. And the idea came from the brain. It still has to do with the body, by materialism. And deny spirituality or invisibility, reject the religion. And last one, oxygen and wind are something that can be detected by the sense as a result. The theory of idealism. The existence of non-material things. And the idea is neither natural nor physical. The way to interpret the existence of ideas or the existence of the religion is discussed in the example of genie. Reality is not material, but mental or spiritual, and pioneered by George. It didn't recognize the corpse out there, but only the image would be. And reality is not directly response to, but responds to the sensation of objects. Only the realm of mind exists, and the physical world cannot be recognized directly, and is open space to spiritual belief, an example of spirit. The religious metaphysics is not limited to bodies, the reality. The religion of the reality is not limited to material and ideas, including both. The religion, it rejects the materialism. Next. So move to the human relations with nature, and it explains the human relation with nature with the context of cosmology, past cosmology, and current ecology. Next. The definition of nature or cosmos is a set of the Jawas composed of objects and surah of form that exist on earth and in heaven. Nature is also used for the purposes of the world, which is to refer to the earth and everything in it and to heavens. The natural division is based on existence, the birth of materialism, and so on. The inner world, the birth of theism, or the religion of theism, animism, etc. The term universe is used in the Quran by the expression al-samawat wal-ard wa ma bainahuma, which means heaven and earth of all that is between them. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, verses 17, Allah says, وَلِلَّهِ مُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا, which means, and Allah alone is the kingdom of heaven and earth and all that exists between them. Next. Now, human concept according to the West, man is an animal that thinks by highlighting its rational dimension based on the West. Humans are friendly animals that reflect their social interaction instinct, and man is a predator that comes from heaven to earth, which is Adam, who defers Satan, its dimensions to the earth, and humans are animals that exist. Based on the theory of evolution, a well-known socialist, Karl Marx, say that humans are social beings. Such a view is not unusual because it is also supported by ancient Greek philosophers such as Aristotle. The concept of man by the West. This one. Socialism sees humans as being based on the philosophy of materialism, which assumes that the world is nothing more than material or nature. Therefore, man is a natural being. All human endeavors are driven by the natural impulse of the urge to live. Philosophy of the material is of the view that the most important element of a human being is not intellect or spirit rather than the dimension of his world. And human concept according to Islam is human or so-called humans are special beings because they can think, receive knowledge, and desire, like an animal, or etc. Everything that cannot receive knowledge and desire is not named by human. Human process and human responsibility, for example, is human are created as calyx. And man and nature is described by humans have a mind, has perfect physicality, become a nature caliphate, and cultured and civilized. Next. The next topic will explained by Mr. Mahmoud.
Assalamualaikum guys, very good afternoon. Okay, so now I will explain about human relationship with God in this section. And in this part, I will only explain about human vertical relationship, which is with our God. Okay, next. So in this human vertical relationship part, okay, so this is discussed in natural theology and philosophy of God. And the question that we want to answer and many of us is asking is, does God exist? And to answer this, we learn about the theism, which is means by understanding that God exists even though its existence is invisible. And from the theism, we can know that there is monotheism, which is the belief that God is one. Also polytheism, which is mean that God exists in more than one. For example, like in the Greek myth or in the Nordic. And also there is atheism, which is the understanding of the reality of nature does not exist, which exists only in material things. Also, other than that, there is called deism, which is believing that gods exist, but they do not take part in our lives. And also agnosticism, which is believing we cannot know whether gods exist or not. Okay, next part. Next, please. Okay, so for the next part is the main aim of philosophy of religion is to examine the claims of religion in the following questions. Does God exist? And do religious beliefs have a basis? Is religious belief reasonable? What is religious experience? What is nature of religious experience? What is the value of faith? And why does evil exist? Okay, next. Okay, so first we want to know what is God means. Okay, uh, in monotheistic thought, God is conceived as the supreme being, creator, and principal object of faith. God is usually conceived of as being omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and omnibenevolent, as well as having an eternal and necessary existence. So it means that God is the creator of nature, eternal, omnipotent, and controlling nature. And God is something that worship and control creators. It can be the shape or worship statue, and it is some things that been overlooked. Okay, next. So the next question is what religion is. So religion is a social cultural system of designated behaviors and practice, morals, beliefs, worldviews, texts, sanctified place, prophecies, ethnics, or organizations that relate humanity to supernatural, transcendental, and spiritual elements. Okay, so religion is a system of beliefs, practice, and human ideals. It is also a trusted institution and one's attitude and feelings toward a supernatural force. Next. Okay, so religion is come from Latin. It is from religare, meaning to tie. To conclude is to tie, to bind. And Cicero connects religious meaning with the term religere, which means to read over and over again. Okay, next. Next, please. And the next question is, does religion exist? Okay, although the general view that religion is exists, some scholars think that religion itself does not exist. For those who exist, it is merely cultural. So it means that religion is a very cultural thing, which is derived from some culture and uh, also some beliefs. Okay, next. Okay, so now we will talk about the difference between religion and belief. So, religion is certainly a belief system, but not all belief systems are religion. To distinguish a religion from a non religious belief system is sometimes easy, but sometimes it is difficult to distinguish. For example, theism, believe in God, for example, is different from religion. Okay, next. Okay, so the next part is we will talk about the philosophy of religion according to the West. So, sociologists, anthropologists, and early philosophers have studied religion, but no one has directly suggested religious science. So it was Frederick Max Muller, which is a syncretist by profession. So He is a German scholar who lived in 1870 and proposed a radical idea to develop religious science. He makes a scientific approach to the study of religion. And also there's E.B. Tyler and James Fraser were two of the earliest researchers to try to develop the theory of religious nature. And they define religion as essentially a belief in spiritual beings. Religion, according to them, systematically animism. Okay, next. All right, so according to Tyler and Fraser, religion and animism are purely intellectual movements. According to Sigmund Freud, religion is a form of mass neurosis, and it is a mild mental disorder and exists only in response to conflict and deep emotional weakness. Also, argues that it is impossible to dispel religious illusions by reducing mystery. Okay, so next. All right, so Emil Durkheim developed sociology as an academic discipline. The importance of society, social structure, social relations, and social institutions in understanding human nature. Durkheim writes that religion is a system of beliefs and practices that unites with sacred things that is distinguished and forbidden. Religious belief is therefore a symbol of social reality. Durkheim was responsible for helping Westerners understand that religion is an important social function. Okay, so the next part will be explained by my friend Ramadan.
Okay, we talk about more deep about the religious philosophy according to the Karl Marx. According to the Marx, religion is one of the social institution that depends on the material and economic reality of a particular society. Marx said that all social institutions depend on the economy in the end. Marx's views of religion is simple. It is an illusion that its main purpose is to give reason and excuse is to keep society functioning as it is. As we know, Karl Marx is they talk about he talk about the economy. So next. For the issue of religion versus the superstition, or in Malay said agama versus takayul. Is there a connection between a religion and superstition? This is a question. Some adherents of various religions believe that these two things are of a different kind of faith. And those who stand outside of religion will find some very important questions and basic to consider about this different kind. Religion and philosophy was different. There's an equation: is religion just a form of philosophy? It depends on the people that meaning it, right? Is philosophy a religious activity? It depends too. Between people and people have a different question. So next, between the God and evil. The problem of evil, does evil exist? This is the good question. Evil exists or not? In this discussion, evil exists in the form of unwanted suffering. It's committed by man and nature, by unimaginable sacrifice by force, epidemic, war, famine, and other honors. So, whether God is limited to power, godness, or knowledge, or he does not exist at all, whether he is unable or unwilling to put an end to evil, or he is unaware of his existence or solution, Many philosophers think that God has no reason to justify the evil, or God would have no reason for permitting the evil. So what is definition of evil? It's not something positive. Evil is, as we know, evil is negative things, right? Or something not positive, where the goodness has gone and lack of good value in something are causing problems for humans and other creatures. This is the opposite of the all-merciful and all-powerful God. And we can say that evil is not mercy, right? So next, the question about the evil. Have many evil is about can be defined as moral crime and true and false aspect related to specific human behavior. Humans are not free to do what they love. Physical crimes, natural disaster, known as natural disaster, philosophical crimes, pain, sorrow that affects someone. Yeah, this is the bad things. The relationship of evil with the existence of God. There are three streams to um, determine the evil with the existence of God. God does not exist. God, God exists but does not know that evil exists, and God exists and is not able to control them due to limited power. So the conclusion of the God and evil. Evil is really although a God also exists. So yeah, evil in this world is real. Although God also exists, but many of us cannot see the God, right? And in Christianity, says that God does not exist because of evil, and in Islam says that God exists in spite of evil. Yeah, ini depends on the person meaning it. So, what is the human horizontal relationship? In human horizontal, human are small words. Words are big humans. Yeah, we know, right? The mechanism is the nature and man are regarded as machines and being are mechanics. And the mental process of describing phenomena is uniform in terms of its behavior. The determinism of human action can be explained either by reason or by law. It divided into two. First, intrinsic and second, extrinsic. As we know, intrinsic, every event happens in its own. And extrinsic is every event occurs due to external factors or outside of human control. In realism, nature exists relativistically and objectively. For example, Darwinism, nature exists on its own. Darwin, as we know. So the next is metaphysical system, and my friends will be presented.
Next, we're moving on to metaphysical systems. Next slide. There are several branches of metaphysics. There are 5 main branches, which is mechanism, determinism, idealism, realism, and indeterminism. Next. The first one is mechanism. Philosophical mechanism is the mental process of describing a phenomenon that implies a uniform behavior that can be explained easily and iterated. Or in the other word, mechanism is the belief that natural wholes, principally all living things, are similar to complicated machines or artifacts composed of parts lacking any intrinsic relationship to each other. So it's like a machine. All all of the events, whether or not they involve living things, are subject to a string of cause and consequence without exception. Next. Number 2, it's determinism. Determinism is derived from the Latin word terminus, which means end. It can be interpreted as philosophical claim that all human actions can be explained by psychological, sociological, or otherwise. Or in the other words, everything that happened in accordance with the law is established. It cannot be the otherwise. Or in the other word, determinism is a philosophical view that all events are determined completely by previously existing cause. Next. The third one is idealism. Idealism is the name for philosophical theories that are based on opinion, which says that the external world is merely a reflection of the intellect. Idealism is a view which all asserts that reality is in some way it is distinguishable or inseparable from human perception and or understanding. So idealism is heavily connected with human perception and consciousness. Human knowledge is therefore nothing more than the consciousness of ideas or the mind itself in the mind. Next. Realism. Realism is a doctrine that states that universe exists real and objective. The external world is the real world and its existence is independent of human intellect. So human intellect can stand on its own and the external world can stand on its own. And it cannot be acknowledged that something exists in the real world if it cannot be proven by experience. Believers also believe that human mind has the ability to accept things that are quite similar to one another. Next. Last one is indeterminism. Indeterminism is an antithesis of determinism or the complete opposite of determinism, which related to chance. According to this view, not all human action can be explained by reasons and consequences because humans have the right to free will and to decide their will. All phenomena in this world do not depend solely on the law of causation. The law of cause and effect is abrogated by events that stem from oneself. It doesn't matter to the previous situation and it doesn't involve God. Freedom of choice is something that is free to achieve happiness or good. Next, we move on to metaphysics for the advancement of science. The development of metaphysical science come from a man named Auguste Comte, which explained about theology, metaphysics, science, and math. It also explains about the system of philosophy is based on facts and laws of science, and a statement is admissible if it's empirically tested. Through the 19th century, the philosophers of science who disliked the mystical and irrational thinking of European society. So Auguste Comte is a philosopher of science which he disliked the mystical and irrational thinking of European society. So he responds it to the primitive thinking and correlate it with science. He rejects anything that is not verifiable by experience and has no meaning whatsoever. It's then revived by Moritz Schlick, formally in 1925 with Ernst Mach. And Eventually, science replaced metaphysics. Next. One of the development in metaphysical science is scientism, which means materialistic ideology equates reality with material. The method of science should apply to all forms of science. Scientism also believes that one day science will solve any human problem, which means that science can solve all human problem in the world, not just based on it's not verifiable by experience and mystic. Scientism also sometimes called anti-metaphysical. Scientism believes that science method and approaches can be applied in all things. It is the most authoritative or the most important way of looking at the world to dispel other views. From a scientific point of view, the inductive method of science is the only true source of knowledge, and especially that science can produce knowledge of the right people and society. Scientism shifts people's belief in religion and create a new world view. Next. So we come to a debate about science versus religion. Scientism sometimes destroys integrated knowledge. In order to survive from science, we need to appreciate two basic aspects of intelligence: geometric intelligence or esprit geometrics, and intelligence itself, esprit definesse. The balance must always be maintained between two directions contrary to the human mind. This is based on Blaise Pascal. Um, in science versus religion debate, we need to balance out both of them. As Albert Einstein said, science without religion is blind. And an Islamic scholarship as summarized by Ibn al-Arabi, Al-Sha'rani, and Al-Zabidi, there are three sets of knowledge called ilmu al-akal, ilmu al-akwal, and ilmu al-asrar. Next. What is knowledge in from the Islamic scholarship previously? Knowledge is whatever acquired by instinct or through thought. What does ilmu al-akwal means? It is something that obtained by experiencing something or situations. Examples: the sweetness of honey, bitterness of soul, deliciousness of joy, love, deep love and longing. Ilmu al-asrar is something that is secret knowledge and can only be revealed by Allah into the hearts of prophet and a guardian. So ilm al-asrar is something beyond our mind. Those who are well versed in ilm al-asrar, which is the prophets and the people of the world, are a people of far-sighted and wise, or hukama, they are well versed in all knowledge and understanding, such as divine science, natural science, mathematics, and mantik. Thus, says Ibn al-Arabi, there is no more noble knowledge than the all-encompassing knowledge that contains all information. Al-Hawi ala Jami al-Information. Okay, that's all of today's topic about metaphysics from Group 3. Thank you for your attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Can you hear my voice?
And Dr.
Okay, so I have anyone have any question for group 3? Question? Any question? No? Question? Can you hear me?
Doctor, your voice is small.
Can but small, doctor. Your voice.
Okay, can you hear me? Better?
Can, Doctor?
Better, doctor. Louder.
Yeah, better. Okay, thank you for group 3 presenting on topic 5, metaphysics. God, human. Okay, anyone have any question? Anyone, any question for group? Anyone has any question? For group 3? Ashwini? Diana Weakness? Okay, Faisal, Tanwir? Any question for group 3? No, no question. Okay, everyone understand, right? Understand what they are presenting just now? Okay, I will give maybe 2 or 3 questions. Okay, you all can hear me, right?
Can, Doctor?
Okay, the first question, you are in your presentation. You have described about the evil and good. Okay, and based on our situation nowadays, according to you as the researcher or the presenter for this topic, metaphysics, evil goodness. Is this pandemic evil to all the human? Oh, is the pandemic COVID-19 and evil to all the humankind based on now. Here?
Doctor, we can't really hear your voice.
Okay, better. I don't know what happened to the line, but okay, I ask once again. Okay, based on your presentation, based on the okay, the presentation, okay, you talk about evil and goodness, okay, and the relationship with God. Okay, so based on your presentation, okay, group 3, what's what we call COVID-19, okay, you say epidemics is an evil. So I want to ask you, is the current situation with the spread of COVID-19 is an evil to all humankind? Okay, maybe you can answer.
Yeah. In in the presentation, it stated that evil exists in the form of unwanted suffering. So, in this context of evil, it's not the supernatural being of the evil itself. Rather, this is some sort of discomfort for human, or bad things that happen to human. So epidemic itself might be a bad thing for human, which can also be translated as evil, but that is also by the will of God itself. It's in my opinion.
So you say is the COVID-19 is the what we call the evil in disguise. So it has both evil and goodness. That's what you.
Yeah, if I describe evil as everything that everything that is uncomfortable for human.
Blessing in disguise. What we call suffering, but we suffer, but at the end, we all get what we call in Islam a'la darajat. What we call we get higher situation because of our suffering to from the gods. What we call in Malay, kita dinaikkan darjat. Kita dinaikkan darjat. Di sisi Tuhan. Okay. I just want to ask about COVID-19 because it's never stopped, man. It become wilder. It become more wild with the new variant and so on. So once again, we have to do lockdown. Okay. And the second question, okay, between the religious aspect that you have discussed earlier, okay, the religious aspect, and then still on the evil topic, evil and the human concept. So is the clash between Israel and Palestine originate from the from which aspect? Okay, I want you to describe the reason of the clash between Israel and Palestine. Are they from religious aspect or philosophical aspect or the historical aspect? And then from that, how can we finish that? How can we we put an end to the clash?
I think that's historical aspects in there, doctor, because Israel people is I think in the past they live in that region and they will to claim that region again nowadays, but maybe in the wrong timeline, I think, because nowadays is world is peaceful, no war again. So I think it's uh, it's historical, I think, doctor, based on my understanding.
So how can we finish that? We put an end to this, to that unforgivable clash between Israel and Palestine. How can we end it?
Mm,
Mm, I think for ended the war between Israel and Palestine, it can be hard because it's already mentioned in Al Quran that from the old time, the in there between Jewish and Islam is have a conflict. I think, and I think that's mentioned until now can be conflicted. So it's hard to stop it from both sides. Right? Both sides they are not want to what do I say? Yeah, I think it's hard to stop it, doctor.
maybe we can just cool down by a diplomation, maybe, doctor, by by the by uniting ourselves, so it can be enough force to cool down between the two sides. Maybe, I think, in my opinion.
For cool down maybe can, but for stop it, it's hard, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think about the two-state policy?
I think the two states policy, even if it's not the best solution, no, not the best solution. Even if it's not the ideal solution, I think it's the best solution to de-escalate the war and the bombing from both sides. We know we wanted that Palestine become one country, but as long as the Israelis doesn't agree with that, we can only de-escalate the war and the bombing by that two-state policy. I think so lah.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. Okay, we can just discuss and hope so the war can or the clash can be de-escalate, or they will become more peaceful than today. So even though it will not change anything, but we as Muslims has to discuss, has to be caring to our brothers in Palestine, and we hope things will be better and easier in the future, inshallah. I mean, okay. That's all from the metaphysics. So what I can okay. The last one. Okay. Group 3. Can you please conclude all your presentation? Maybe in short conclusion for your presentation.
So the conclusion for today's presentation, metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that studies about something that goes beyond the physical limit or something that we cannot see.
Okay.
Metaphysics discuss about the existence of God, evil, religion, and there are 5 main branches of metaphysics, which is mechanism, determinism, idealism, realism, and indeterminism. Metaphysics also has evolved to metaphysical science, which eventually is an anti-metaphysical, which believes that science can solve all of humans' problem. And we
So you have
should
to select between science
we
and religion.
yeah, we should balance out science and religion to 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 achieve uh, a peaceful and prosperity life. As Albert Einstein said, science without religion is blind. We think that's all for today's presentation, and that concludes our presentation today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Group 5, group 3. Okay, like UTM motto, or what we call, what UTM has emphasized, always emphasize, kerana Tuhan untuk manusia. From God to mankind. That's the motto for UTM. What we call that's the pillar of UTM. The science and technology, the knowledge from God to be contribute to the humankind. Okay, that's will do for this for today class. Okay, and I have I already sent you the attendance, so everyone scan the attendance. Okay, last about the final assignment. So I have I've give you in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so each group will have to choose one topic. Okay, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. You all have to choose one topic about the ideology for final assignment. You have, maybe you choose communism, maybe you choose about monotheism, feminism, and so on. Okay, and you relate with the current issues, such as maybe you choose about communism in today's economic. What's the impact? Okay, and then maybe you can extremism and its impact to today's situation. Extremism, feminism, liberalism. That's the topic that you kind of the topic that you have to choose. Okay, because the subject is about the philosophy and the current issue, so you choose one philosophy or one ideology that you want to study. I give you the example, extremism. So you relate with the current issues about the impacts to the modern world, impact to Islamic world. So that's the topic you have to choose. Okay, then after you let's decide today what's your topics for the final examination, and then after that the next week I will give you the rubric, so you can begin with the proposal. So you can begin doing making the proposal and I will evaluate after this before you can make a poster and video from your topics. So clear?
Clear, doctor.
Clear, doctor.
Okay, so after that, before 4 a.m. So I think you all can make a few suggestions about the topics. Then you all can ask me, and if the topic interesting enough or fundamental enough or suitable for the final assignment, so I will approve and you put the topics in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
We have put our options in the discussion, doctor. The discussion last week, not last week. Few last weeks.
Topics.
Yeah. For group 3, and some of the groups too has put the topics.
So you can in the WhatsApp group. Oh,
In e-learning, doctor.
in learning. Okay. Let me just open it. Because today I'm work from home. The Bulu FH, so the internet is not so well. So I use only my phone. That's why I won't open the e-learning. But I will try open the e-learning.
Or I can just read it to you.
Maybe you can copy and paste to the WhatsApp group, so I can. Maybe you can help me. Okay, poster submission. Okay, title. Okay, I can open. I can open already. I can open, but I didn't see any topics. Lukman, you can see topics.
It's in chapter 3. I mean, in the e-learning, in the chapter 3 section, doctor put it.
Because
I will screenshot to WhatsApp group.
Okay. Because I give the task in the e-learning final project assignment. So each group, please provide the title for final project assignment. Then I open, but no answer. That's why I asking for today. To submit title. Okay, maybe Lukman, you can screenshot first. Then I will see. Week 1, week 2, week 3. Chapter 2. Chapter 3. List down your purpose. Okay. Moralism. Okay, no, only 3, Lukman, right? Lukman?
Yes, there are 3 groups that have
Okay.
been
So we
proposed.
still have 2 group. I didn't send the topics for final assignment. Okay. What's your group title, Lukman?
Wait, doctor, I will send in WhatsApp.
Okay, because okay, from Amalia Adhari. Is moralism still important nowadays? So this that's not the topics kind of topic that I wanted. Okay, maybe you can change the moralism. Okay, moralism and is then the negligence of the or the I can suggest for you the negligence of moralism. Okay, and its impact to the to the current youth or current or the new generation. So you can when you choose a topic, you have to put the ideologies. Okay, so the moralism is the ideology, and then you relate to the current issues. Okay, maybe you can relate the negligence of moralism and in its impact to the new generation or to the youth today. Okay, mental health issues of mentioned during COVID-19 sent by Diana Viknes. So that's not the topic. So you have to choose an ideology. That's the issue. That's the issue only. Okay. So I can accept I can accept Amalia Azhari group topics. Okay, I can accept the topic from Amalia Azhari, but you must change. So they relate with the current the ideology and the impacts on current issues.
Doctor, actually, the purpose of that topics, it's same as what you say.
Okay.
Our group is planning to do that actually, but we just put the brief explanation about the topics. I mean, it's
Okay.
just the title of our topics.
Yes. Okay. You have to only change the title and then submit it in the e-learning.
Okay.
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 I mentioned also in the WhatsApp group, so I can update on both WhatsApp group and e-learning.
Okay, doctor.
Okay, Diana Viknesh. So you have to choose another topics related to the ideology and current issues. Okay, thanks Amarina, Diana Viknesh. Okay, Luqmanul Hakim. Okay, topic 1, change. Fascism on the rise. Okay, okay, group 1, you only have to change the topic to make it suitable for the like I said just now. Okay, group 2, please provide the topics. Okay, group 3, Luqmanul Hakim, fascism on the rise in modern politics. Okay, I can accept this kind of topic. Fascism and discussion on modern politics. Okay. Nepotism, Should we let our mature take advantage of us? Okay, maybe Luqman Hakim, I think the best one is the number one. I think the best is number one, fascism on the rise in modern politics. Okay, Luqman.
Okay, Doctor.
Okay, topic 4, mental health issues of Malaysian during COVID-19. So, Ashwini, Daya, Navikness, Patricia, you must change. You must change your topic related with the ideology and the current issues. Okay, topic 5, group 5. Please provide your topics. Listen. So I will check. Okay, Anissa. Ikigai, the purpose of life. Okay, Almira, are you there? Anissa, can you hear me? Huh? I can hear. Okay, Ikigai. Okay, that's the first time I hear this. What is the meaning Ikigai?
It's mostly like promoting the lifestyle of like people. So in Japan, like people live up to like a really long time. Like for example, they can live up to like 100 years old. So it's mostly like promoting like a positive lifestyle, like through, let's say, like exercising, like a positive mindset and this kind of thing.
Okay, that's the positive thinking to live longer.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So Ikigai, and you must relate to the current issues. Okay, the purpose of life you must change. Not stable. Okay, Ikigai, maybe Ikigai and the impacts. Maybe Ikigai and the what we call the impacts, the influence. Maybe Ikigai and the impacts on Japan society. That's better.
Okay. All right, doctor.
Because when Japanese live longer, so the society will have more what we call older people,
Yes, that's right.
and more older people. So the reproductive rate become reduce, decrease. That's all the problem happen in Japanese. Okay, if you want to develop, we need more younger people or youth to develop. That's the problem. Maybe you can read it in Ikigai, Ikigai and the impacts on Japanese society.
Okay, doctor.
Okay, thank you, Anissa. Nice topic, Ikigai. Maybe we can kamikaze or something like that. that's nice topic to be study on. Okay, so we just need group 5, group 4, and group 5 and group 4 to propose with the suitable or right topics. Okay, so we don't have Ashwini here. Okay, Ashwini. Okay, we will come up with the new one. Okay, thanks, Ashwini. So I will wait for today, so that you will propose with the new topics. Okay, because the next week I will give you, after your presentation, I will give you the the rubric to do how to do the final assignment and so on. Okay, group 5, Faisal, Tanwir, Amzad and Tariq, please provide the topic as well. Okay, so that's the end of our session today. So I hope you all can understand what we